smashed in the face with a bunch of fucking
Can we move on, please?
bumps.
Jeez Louise.
No, we can't.
You're so far off to the topic. We aren't even anywhere off the panel, man.
We're so off topic that we shouldn't even be doing this show. This is a spin-off called What the Fuck Are You Talking About, Man?
We're talking about Obi-Wan.
That was a great episode.
Do
do we want to do pizza time, or should they just know by now?
Well, I mean, we're posting this on Monday. The episode
Do it anyway
came
because we
out
love it.
on Wednesday.
Pizza time.
Yeah, fuck. If you haven't seen it, fuck.
Well, you know what's crazy is Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel both are going to be out on Wednesday because Miss Marvel premieres on Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
Yeah.
You're shitting me.
I'm serious.
Wow,
June 8th. And
this is literally the only Marvel project that has completely snuck up on me since Civil War.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't that long ago, but literally that's how quick our consumption of media has changed.
well, dude, I mean, we're literally a month away from Thor now. We've been thinking about that movie for how long? And
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So let's talk about Obi-Wan.
oh,
Part 3. This episode, I texted you after I watched it. I said it changed my mind on the series.
rightly so.
I still feel like this series is pointless and unnecessary. However,
You saw the meme that I sent you.
yeah,
I haven't heard that name since I rescued your secret twin sister from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
like 7 or 8 years ago. No, I still think it's unnecessary or whatever. But I still like this episode was, I don't know, it was fun for me, and maybe it's because I was coming at it from a different perspective. I like the first 2 episodes, but I think maybe it's because of the inclusion of Vader. Like, well, and Ashley could attest to this because we watched it together. We sat down Wednesday morning. I
watched it by myself. I'm very lonely.
I turn it on and it shows Vader getting his armor on. I'm like, okay. And I looked at her and I said, breathe, damn it. And then he just like that. And I was like, and that was enough to be like, okay. And then, but this is going to be a controversial conversation we're going to have here. Then he talks, and it's James Earl Jones. However, it's not fully James Earl Jones. They took his voice, his old voice, because he's like almost 90 or 90, I think, 90-ish. Mm-hmm. And they went into this company called Respeecher, and they edited it so it sounded younger. So it sounded like Anakin would have at that time.
Interesting.
My only issue with that is just hire a voice sound-alike. Like, get those guys other work. I don't know.
Or just let fucking J. Earl J retire, man. Shit.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can...
Unless he likes doing it.
There are some really good Vader voices. Like, there's some really good dudes that have impersonated James Earl Jones' voice. But my take on it is like... Get these guys some work. Like I hate the idea that
fair enough.
It goes back to what I've said before with the CGIing of characters. And it's like, get actors work. That is horseshit.
Yeah, why
you just don't want to pay an actor?
You totally could have had Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, and I would have been fine with it.
However,
why? Because you've been talking about it for fucking decades.
However, it was still great to hear James Earl Jones. Like, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" When I heard him talk.
That's a fair criticism. But here's my thing:
I don't have a problem with
if James Earl Jones is like, "Hey, I heard you're doing a project with Darth Vader. Do you still need my voice?" You go, "Yep."
Well, no,
absolutely.
I mean, you're not going to say no.
Yes.
No, and I like I said, it was great to hear him again. I love that.
Sounds like you didn't like.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Thanks to technology. Fuck. I knew his voice was going to be modulated in some way because he's old. Like, your voice ages with you, so I understand why they did the AI
voice sucks,
AI tech. But I'm always somebody that wants to
that
get
great radio voice I had in my 20s.
But I'm always, as you know,
listen to me.
I'm always someone that wants to get the worker some work. So I'm gonna be the guy like, hey, get a voice actor.
That?
It's the cap to my water bottle.
Oh.
So what did you think of part 3?
So the thing is, like, I read an article yesterday that said, I was talking to these showrunners, and they were talking about how when they first pitched Obi-Wan, that the idea was for Darth Vader to show up like way earlier. like beginning of episode 2.
And then a lot of people are upset about this because it breaks the canon of the original trilogy,
Which is
that he didn't. The implication is he had not found or had any interaction with Obi-Wan until he showed up with Luke.
The implication, sure,
but it never. I looked at the script and I don't think it directly implies that.
How does Obi-Wan know when
that
he meets
Vader
Luke
is
that
Anakin?
Vader? Right, exactly. How does he know to fuck with Luke to say all that shit if he hasn't seen Vader?
Yeah,
Because honestly, news like that doesn't travel. And honestly, the only reason she knows about it is because she's like really high up in the Empire. Some scrub on Tatooine ain't gonna have that news for him, he doesn't want to know the news anyway. He's just trying to hide out.
That's a good point,
right?
Because again, this is my problem with the show because it also follows under my
he kicks Obi-Wan's ass.
Here's my problem too. Is it follows into the same situation that every episode has been on this show where I've said you don't need to explain that. Honestly, you don't need to explain these two meeting each other before the
I don't care.
before
it was
the
just
Death
really
Star.
kick ass.
You don't
and
need to.
Vader was fucking brutal, man. Fucking just killing people. I'm coming after you, Obi-Wan, and I want to show you how serious I am. Snap, there's a kid.
And everything.
Snap,
And
there's
everything.
their dad.
And everything you just said is a great example of like why I've changed my mind on this show because I like because again it's vague enough in that first movie that you could logistically work in that they fought each other before they met on the Death Star. Like you can make that work.
It makes perfect sense because again, by the time he gets to Tatooine, he doesn't know anything about Vader, or the Sith Lord.
There's no
that Vader is at this point.
But again, what I was saying, you could also argue in that first movie, the implication it's just an implication that they knew each other,
right?
But technically, you're right. Obi-Wan, there's never anything said on screen that he knows that Anakin is Vader.
He thinks Anakin's dead, dude.
I thought he knew that Anakin wasn't dead.
No, he thinks Anakin's dead.
But see, what they're doing now is they're making my headcanon real because I thought that Obi-Wan knew Vader was Anakin the whole time and lied to Luke because he didn't want him to know it was his dad. So now this show confirms that.
Yes. So in the first movie, he fucks with Luke and tells him all that bullshit because he doesn't want him to know.
Yeah.
But now we look at what happened in episode 3. Now, Obi-Wan walks away and he leaves him to die because he doesn't want to kill him, but he's like, you're dead. You're as good as dead.
You lost an arm.
You're as good as dead.
And 2 legs, and you're burnt to a crisp.
Sorry, motherfucker, and crying and all that.
Well, and he's like, I
but
love
then
him.
the Emperor shows up.
He can't kill him. He loves him.
The Emperor shows up and actually saves him. So by this point in the story, we're talking 10 years after Sith, or Revenge of the Sith, right?
In between,
it said it's 10 years later, after they did the whole thing in episode 1. So it's about 10 years after, right? So Luke and Leia are both 10 years old or whatever, and at this point in the story, he has been living as a hermit and as a non-Jedi for 10 years. That's why it's so hard.
He's a factory worker.
Yeah, dude, he's literally like, this is my life until I die. I'm watching over this kid. I think he thinks he's going to try and train Luke, but obviously that's put a kibosh right away. And it would be too late anyway. If
when the time comes, he must be tried.
Yeah, but listen, in fucking episode 1, the Jedi Council says that Anakin is too old. Goddamn, Luke is too fucking old by this point. And Obi-Wan ought to know that. So he's just holding on to bullshit.
He's just
his life is over.
I think what that implication is,
he even lets a Jedi get killed.
Well, I think the reason he would say that is like, I need to train Luke to protect Owen. And
sure, yeah. I mean, he. The implication is that he's eventually going to give him his father's lightsaber and say, "This is what happened," and da da da. Obviously, things happened not the way that he wanted, but they happened. Obviously, he didn't want Owen and
but yeah,
Beru to be murdered.
This I think again, I think I like this one so much because this was Vader's episode above all else. And,
right. But between episode 3...
And you and I have talked about this. We wanted to see more Vader.
Yeah.
Being it like Rogue One, when he fucking turns into Jason Voorhees and slaughters a whole hallway of people, that was amazing. When he fucking used his lifted the dude up on the ceiling, stabbed him with the saber, left the saber there, and then threw it at another guy. Like, holy shit. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, dude, he's so fucking brutal, and like he literally
And then
wants
he
to.
snapped a kid's
He
neck.
literally wants to just fucking like just roast. He literally wants to torture Obi-Wan to
Yeah,
death.
was trying to burn him alive like he left him. Like
no,
was
that
so
he
cool.
wasn't gonna burn him alive. He was gonna
He
burn
pushed
him
him
to
out
the
of it.
point of death.
He kept pushing him out of
because he
it.
wants to make sure he stays alive as long as he can.
He wants to
He
make
might
him-
even hooked him up to a Bacta tank. Man, Darth Vader is fucking cruel and vicious, and he is the oh my yeah, he's vicious.
You
he's
didn't
awful.
see it, and that is one thing that I think. Look, as much as I don't like them going back and doing this stuff, I think what they did in Rogue One, what they did in this, because you don't really see like Vader is a cool villain in the trilogy, but he's not as bad of a bad guy as you'd want him to be.
In the
You know
first
what I
trilogy, most of all, it's all implied. He really doesn't do
mean?
anything.
Chokes a few dudes,
right?
He does genocide a whole planet. He obliterates a whole planet. That is true.
Right. But Grand Moff Tarkin was there too. And in fact, isn't he the one who chose the target?
Fire when ready.
Fire when ready. If it's far too trusting, down between his system.
But man, like when Vader shows up in that town and fucking lifts a guy out of his home who was minding his own business, he just pulls him out, kills him, snaps a kid's neck, and
then leaves the
And then
daughter
what-
of the family
then-
alone.
proceeds to drag
Alive.
another person
Oh yeah.
across the sand and gravel for no other reason than just to scare people. Like, where the fuck is Obi-Wan Kenobi? I know he's here. Where is he? Like, jeez.
He's so fucking like.
Can we also talk about Freck being a fucking bitch, selling out
Yeah,
Obi-Wan?
you fucking bitch. Who was that anyway?
That was Zach Braff.
Fuck you, Zach Braff.
Not really.
No, fuck you. Green State was awful. We know that now.
Well, Scrubs is great. You mean Garden State? You said Green State.
Whatever.
Green State is what you're in right now, man.
Yeah, bro.
I love it when we do that unprompted.
Yeah.
Because one of us does it.
See, 30 years of drug and alcohol abuse has allowed my speech to literally at any moment go whoa, like literally it's there
And
under
then-
the surface
and then
all
And then
the time.
I'm like,
What?
Whoa!
and then you're like,
I'll eat your ass.
Nice.
all right, so, oh yeah, but first I gotta pay you.
$1 million, bitch.
Literally,
Is that the bounty on Obi-Wan?
I was kind of hoping that you would not play because every time we play, I'm gonna eat your ass. We always play $1 million, bitch. And my thing is like, I want to do it once without the other part. I thought you were just gonna leave it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I disappointed you.
Fine. Just don't worry about it.
Anyway, but anyway, like seriously though, Vader was just
Bad mother crusher.
this whole episode, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Obi-Wan is barely holding it together. And what is gonna happen, man? Like fucking, what a cliffhanger! Wow. Obi-Wan is near death, and he's being helped by that really attractive rebel lady.
She's in Game of Thrones. I don't remember her name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's when like you see the strength of character, and that is attractive, and then you start actually looking at the person, because sometimes those actors don't appear in more than a couple scenes. You don't get a chance.
Going back to the Freck thing, I
thought it was Seth Rogen.
I did too. I really did. I liked that whole exchange where they get in it and then you see the flag of the Empire. I'm like, oh god damn it, Obi-Wan, what do you think?
That was fucking actually really tense, and that was a
no,
really.
and I love that scene when the stormtroopers get on the
suspense
skiff
of
thing.
that entire first part of that
and then
episode
when
was
Obi-Wan
really cool.
slips and said, "They know what they're doing, Leia."
Yeah.
And she's like, she gave him a look like
He comes right out.
"Motherfucker."
He comes right out of it, and just like and it's just like
She looks like her mother so much.
we
And
miss her so very much.
the fucking memes that came out of that are amazing.
What?
Because one of them was
See, I took Facebook off my phone, so I don't see memes anymore.
no, the meme
I'm
was
okay
the
with
same
that.
thing that Ashley and I said was like, she's like, "Are you my father?" And he says, "No," but my mind was like, "I wish I could be," because she was smoking hot. Let's talk about Padme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in Anakin's mind, he felt like that Obi-Wan wanted her for himself, and Palpatine preyed on that.
Because Anakin is a jealous and vindictive.
Well, the thing is that what he doesn't know is that because Anakin has lost his way, Padme, who has known Anakin or who has known Obi-Wan since she was a teenager,
I mean, I'm just saying she
is
also had the hots
confiding-
for a 9-year-old. Just saying.
she's confiding in Obi-Wan. She's always been his friend. She's always been confidence. And she's confiding in him, and they're both confiding in each other, and they're trying to figure out how to help Anakin, and all that makes Anakin think is that they're conspiring against him.
I mean,
and Palpatine preys on that.
It's the age old.
That was their mistake, is not both sitting down with him and saying, "What's going on, dude?"
Well, it's the classic storytelling that Star Wars relies a lot on. It's the jilted love. Yeah, it's the love triangle. It's like you're my best friend. You're my wife. And why do you guys keep talking behind my back? Like you said, there's that implication that he thinks that Obi-Wan wanted Padme. There's a lot of things that clearly. There's a reason they hate each other at this point,
if I'm married and
no, but I'm saying that Anakin is a jealous
I'm
person.
aware.
Yeah,
I'm aware. But let me say, if I'm married and and my wife has a friend from that she's known for a long time who she talks to a lot, I'm not going to be mad about that.
But you're also not Anakin Skywalker.
But if we've been married for like 5 years or whatever, and then somebody new pops up that she starts talking to a lot, that's going to be kind of suspicious. So I mean, don't you think? Right? Like, wow, that's
yeah, well,
a little bit.
It would sting even more for Anakin because Obi-Wan was like a father figure to him after Qui-Gon Jinn was killed.
Right. I mean, I get it, but that's what I'm saying to Anakin is like, look, they've known each other like all of her life.
Here's
almost.
a question for you.
All of his life.
Do you
too.
think this show has the balls to have like a Force ghost of Liam Neeson like Qui-Gon Jinn? Because I think that would be really dumb if they did that.
Really? You lying motherfucker.
No,
He's like, actually, as soon as I said really, you thought about it, and you're like, you know
it
what?
would make sense, but I just don't
You
think
would
they're gonna,
love it.
Why would you unless you can like CG him as a Force ghost and just have him do like voiceover?
Why?
Or do that because why pay the money to get Liam Neeson? Because I guarantee
it's fucking Disney. They have money coming out of their assholes.
Really, it's Disney. They have money coming out of their assholes.
Yeah.
And She-Hulk still looks like shit.
No, they're
So,
changing
yeah, don't
that.
tell
We
me
know
about
that.
the
We know that they're changing.
They
that.
already did. They already changed some of
So
it
what?
already. But my point is,
No
if they're gonna
point.
cut-
You have no point.
No, I don't care how fucking rich Disney is. If they're gonna cut corners, they're gonna cut corners.
What do you mean?
We just talked that they'll get the low price of James Earl Jones because he's in his 90s.
Low price. No. This is what's gonna happen. Obi-Wan, the next episode. Mark my fucking words. The next episode is going to have. It's either going to start with,
It's gotta
or
have
throughout the
Qui-Gon.
episode, it's going to have Obi-Wan on some type of spirit plane talking to Qui-Gon and maybe others. That's all I'm going to say.
Plo Koon. Oh wait, yeah, Plo Koon.
I'm hoping Mace Windu makes an appearance.
I'm just making a joke.
I'm hoping Mace Windu.
Okay, again, Liam Neeson.
That
and
motherfucker.
Liam Neeson and Sam Jackson for like what? An episode? Are you a fucking lunatic?
Yeah, but fans would love me as the head of Disney.
Make it happen. Because
All right, this one we're gonna have. This.
Sorry, all of our budget went to getting Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson himself, and Sam Jackson on the project. Hey, maybe Ewan McGregor could swing it. He's executive producer on this show, so maybe he could.
Is he?
Yeah, he's one of those producers.
Liam Neeson?
No, I said Ewan McGregor.
Oh, Ewan McGregor?
Did I say Ian?
Ewan, yeah, it's Ewan.
Oh, fuck you.
No,
How about his name is Obi-Wan Kenobi?
When Train Spotting came out, okay, I remember there's 2 guys named Ewan in that one. By the way, Ewan Bremner
Ewan stupid.
was in Our Flag Means Death. Great character actor. He was the pilot in Our Flag Means Death. The bald dude. Hey,
Yeah.
mate, with the bird.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He was great.
Yeah.
Ewan.
That scene was I really love. A lot shorter it seemed like because I feel like this episode was only like 45 minutes.
I have no idea.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do in the last 3 episodes. I'm glad I don't. This isn't a situation where I say like 6 episodes works, something like this, or something like for me Hawkeye. You know, where like we have this established character, we know who he is, we don't have to spend a lot of time. We know where we are in the timeline.
At this point, you got a cliffhanger that kind of has to be resolved in one episode. I mean, you kind of can't. The way that you have paced the show thus far, you cannot take the last 3 episodes to resolve whatever's going on right now. You can't. It would make the fucking show terrible. So, with the pacing that you've set for yourself, you may be able to take the entire next episode to resolve what's going on with Vader, Obi-Wan, the rebel lady, and Leia, and the third sister, right?
Yeah.
Reva. But then you have 2 more episodes. Yeah, that's a great question, Jake. Actually, is what are you gonna do for the last 2 episodes? I mean, at least one episode is gonna be a wrap up, but that still leaves one entire episode. So that's honestly why I think episode 4 is entirely Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon on the spirit plane, and then episode 5 is the resolution of what's going on now, and then episode 6 is a wrap up. Trust me.
Wow.
Fucking heard it here first. Off panel, off topic. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Was that the name of our prediction?
Are you out? Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Chicka chow.
Get down.
Shy on. Woman.
All right.
Yeah.
Shut up. Staying on the topic. Shut your mouth.
We're not on topic. Isn't that our whole thing? Derp.
Wow. So we're moving on
Do it.
in Star Wars.